Hello, welcome to Strong and Slow Flow Yoga. And today we're going to open up into some hip openers, and that's going to allow us to get into the back a little bit here. So, no worries, I've got options for everyone. You'll want a couple blocks for sure and a strap. And we're going to use the strap towards the end. We're going to use it in some bridges that we're going to do that are going to help open up the shoulders a little bit better. And as always, if you need a folded blanket to sit on or for a knee cushion, go ahead and have that as well as water. So sitting in a nice comfortable seat, whatever that would look like for you. And just take a moment, notice how you feel, notice where you feel. And notice as you sit on your sit bones here, if you feel more balanced, more even, or do you feel the weight being more forward, more to one side, or more towards the back? And how could you find a little bit more balance there? You notice if that balance brings you a little bit taller, maybe the ears, the shoulders, and the hips, and that alignment, but keeping the natural curvature of the back. And then bringing that awareness, breath. Inhale and expand. And exhale and release. Okay. So we're going to go into some alternate nostril breathing today. So I like to use my right hand for this. And there's different ways that you can do the fingers. Ultimately, do the fingers in the way that's best for you to be able to do your breath. So if you need all of your fingers over here and your thumb over here, don't worry about that so much. Do what you can. But more traditionally, you'll have your ring finger and your pinky finger together. Sometimes you might see the middle finger on with them. Sometimes the middle finger and the pointer finger are together. That's what I like. And the thumb is alone. It's almost kind of like Star Trek, live long, prosper, that sort of thing. So once you have what you need to do for your fingers that makes you comfortable, good. We're going to take a big exhale. And we're going to close the right nostril with the right thumb. Inhale through the left. Close the left, open the right, exhale. Inhale right. Close the right, open left, exhale. Inhale left. Close left, open right, exhale. Inhale right. Close right, open left, exhale. Inhale. So as you take a few rounds here of that, noticing if maybe you're a little congested that you didn't think that you were. I didn't view myself as congested, but apparently I am a little bit on both sides. Good. My last round, I'm inhaling on the left, closing the left, opening the right. Exhale, and inhaling right, and release. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up, we'll reach up. Good. Touching palms together. As you bring the hands down, create an intention for yourself. Now, because we're getting into back bending here, heart openers, that sort of thing, you can think in terms of the fourth chakra. So that's going to be things like open-hearted, compassion, gratitude, thought for others, heart for service, those kinds of things. So I'll bring in these different words as we go along, but you can always set your intention for what you need. And then from here, we're going to reach up, reach, reach, reach. Get a nice gentle side bend towards the left, really pressing the right hip into the floor. Keep a nice long top arm. That gives you a little bit more deeper connection down the side body here. And then from here, choosing where you would like to go. Is that staying here? Is it coming out? Is it side bending a little bit deeper? maybe opening to the back. Is it a C curve roll? So be mindful of your back's needs. A forward flexion of the spine is not for you. The C curve roll is not going to be where you need to be. And then we'll open up and move through center, go right into the other side, reaching over, taking a moment here. And as you breathe and open, could you feel those intercostal muscles, those muscles between the ribs, open just a little bit more? And then deciding if this is where you're going to stay, if you're going to side bend deeper, opening to the back for C curve roll. It does not have to be right now what you did on the other side. This is just kind of getting through the kink. So if you slept funny the night before and you feel tighter on one side than the other, then maybe do something different on that side. Good. And then inhale and we'll open. We'll move through center and we'll reach. Good. And then let's get a nice gentle rotation. Now we're going to get the arms up here on this one. So really reach up and notice with the arms lifted, how it may feel in the shoulders and particularly below shoulder blade. So for me, having my arms up, I feel a little bit more tightness that I wasn't aware of on the left lower shoulder blade side. And then I'm going to come back to center and we'll go to the other side. But I feel completely open on this side. You might too. You never know. Inhale, exhale, coming back. Good. Now from here, let's take the hands behind the head. Good. Relaxing the shoulders down. Elbows are out where you can take them. And then we're going to rotate again. Notice if you feel in the same places or something different. And then we'll come back to center and we'll go to the right. And then back to center. Good. Now we'll take it a little bit more traditional way. Arms up, rotate back to the left. Arms come down, rolling shoulders back. Noticing differences now between having the arms up, down, or hands behind the head. And then coming up, and we'll move to the other side. Good. Rolling the shoulders back. And then we'll come up and come back to center. Good. From here, get any little movement that would feel good to you. That might be some wrist rolls, some shoulder rolls, neck rolls, spinal rolls. I love me a good spinal roll. Good. And then don't forget to take it in the opposite direction. And when you're ready, we're going to make our way to all fours. So we're going to get nice and good and prepped before we go to our first back bend. I am going to use a blanket for my knees today. Okay. So from here, my fingers are nice and wide, rooting through the knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. What we're getting ready to do for basic cat-cow, at least, can also be done on the forearms, so be mindful of that. Knees are under the hips, they're slightly wider, tops of the feet are down. And see if you can get your feet behind your knees. Sometimes feet want to touch together here. See if you can take them behind the knees. Good. Pressing away from the floor, belly button is in. Good. I'm going to take the chest forward, taking the pelvis back, looking forward, nice cow pose. And then I'm going to tuck the tail, round the spine, looking towards the thighs, bad cat pose. So if you're someone where flexion is not good for your spine, then don't come into the flexion, just do the extension. If you're someone where extension is not good for your spine, don't do the extension, come into the flexion. Move how your body needs you to move. Good. Now you can stay with that nice and basic and slow. And here's also a semicircle cat-cow. Inhaling on the cow. Exhale as you round through cat, sink down on one side, moving through center. And you're rolling up into the cow on the other side. And then you can reverse that. Good. So you can stay with that one. Or if you want something a little bit more intense, dynamic cat-cow flow, inhale in the cow. Exhale round through cat. Sink back into the child pose. Good. Forearms are coming to the floor. You're going to shift forward. Elbows stay in. It's a baby push-up as you come back up into that cow pose. So take a few moments here, explore. You can do one, a combo of two, maybe a medley of all three. And consider for right now, we're just loosening up the kinks. So if the movement that you've chosen feels good to you, then consider that you're doing it all right. If it doesn't feel good to you, then something's not right and we need to make a change in the way that we're moving. So find the way that you need to move. And then from here, we'll find a child's pose. Knees can be together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. Taking the arms long in front of us or hands back by the ankle. Just kind of find it what you need here. And be active. So find the expansion of the rib cage. And you draw up and in from the pubic bone behind the navel. Breathe and expand. And then once you're ready, hands are going to come under the shoulders and we're going to come back up. Good. So now we're prepped for our first real back bend, although technically you did that if you were doing cat-cow. Going into puppy. So I'm going to show you some different versions of puppy, different bodies, different things. And I'm going to take this from easiest or least challenge to most challenge. Okay. So easiest, if you've got a couple blocks, it's going to be optimal. You don't have to come as far. You're going to take your forearms onto your blocks. No matter what version you're going to do, your hips are always over your knees in puppy. Good. And then you're just going to come into a cow pose here, basically. Okay. And press the shoulders away from the ears. So that's option number one. Option number two is exactly like that, except instead of block, your forearms are going to be on the floor. So you're a little bit closer to the floor now. Good. So there's option two. Option three, some of what you use or will use will depend on what you have at home. So if you've got a block, you can put a block under the chest. You can put a little pillow under there. Some people like a folded blanket, kind of like that under there. If you're really sensitive, it just kind of depends on the person. But all of them will give you support. So I will demonstrate that with a block here though. So I'm just gonna kind of come down. Good. I've got my prop on my chest. Good. And then I'm going into that extension. You can also take your arms a little bit longer here as well. Okay. And then there's the full puppy. Come down. Good. Chest is to the floor. And the chin is also on the floor as well. If you've got a neck issue, I'm going to encourage you to take the forehead to the floor here. But find your puppy the way you need to get there. Maybe you do the first one and you just don't come very deep into the extension. That's okay. I make this look super easy. And while it's not super easy, it's a whole lot easier for me now than it was. This used to be extra special because my back was not pliable as it is now. But with time and practice and patience, I got there. So if you've got, a disc disease or something like that, this may not be in the cards for you, but that's okay. And then from here, if you're in the full puppy, we're going to take the forehead to the floor. Good. You're going to take the hands under the shoulders wherever you went after that bend, and we'll come up. And we want to counter that deep extension with some nice flexion. So if you're able to come into a cat pose, come into that. If not, come into a little child's pose here. Just kind of find what you need to do with your body. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, we will find our downward facing dog. So taller people, take a half a hand's width or full hand's width forward. Shorter people can stay where you are. Spreading the fingers wide, rooting through the knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb, tucking the toes, and shifting back. As I press in and forward into my mat, that's going to help me lift my knees and hips. So take a moment. Good. Maybe walking the dog here. And then just taking a pause from the movement and come into good down dog form. I'm still pressing into the knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. Elbows are turning more towards the middle finger or the ceiling. My head and neck are free. Shoulders away from the ears. Very, very important. Knees can be bent or not. Find yours. And then you can go back and try that movement again. Good. And then from here, taking some stillness. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk or step your feet forward to meet your hands. Good. Now you can rearrange your blocks here if you need them for what we're getting ready to do. Let the knees bend. Let the head shake, yes. Let the head shake, no. Maybe let the arms dangle. If it's safe for you to sway and you want to go there, you can sway. You can take elbows or hands to elbows, giving a little bit more traction down the spine if you want that. And then we'll come back to center and release the elbows if you took them. Pressing into the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bend the knees as you bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs, long back as we rise. Strong legs. Exhale, hands to heart center. And maybe with the intention, where can I be more open-hearted today? Where can I be more open-hearted today? An open heart and open mind. From here, big inhale and we'll reach. Exhale, we'll bend the knees as we bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Press through the feet and the legs, we'll rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay. And we will take that again. Big inhale and we reach. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs, lift and lengthen halfway. Remember, you can always be on the floor, the blocks, the shins or the thighs. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Good. Planting the hands, stepping back into a plank. Knees can be lifted or grounded. Grounded knees will take pressure off the shoulders. Also takes pressure off the back. Good. And then once ready, we're going to drop the knees, turn the elbows forward. Good. Try not to collapse. Elbows come straight back as you lower down. Good. So, hands a little forward into the side, rolling the shoulders back. Good. Maybe finding a baby cobra here. Good. Maybe you come to a medium or a high cobra. And then coming all the way down. As you lower down, try to lower down with control, bone by bone. Good. Hands under the shoulders, tucking the toes. Stronger, more experienced yogis, push up into plank, shift back down dog. Everyone else, you can follow me moving back through a tabletop and then finding down dog from there. Good. So we just did a more modified version of Sun Salute A. So you can take any of those versions as you need them once we get going here for a moment. From your down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, push with the feet and the legs. As you step, hop, or walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Good. Press into the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs. We'll rise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Let's move through one more a little bit quicker, and then we're going to change that up. Big inhale and we'll reach. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll fold. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bend the knees and we'll bow. Planting the hands. Stepping or hopping back to plank, you choose. Take or skip a flow. If you're coming into the up dog, push with your feet. Don't pull with the shoulders. Take a breath from that down dog. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees from the feet. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Good. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs. We're going to rise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's change that up now. We're going to use our blocks on the next one. So I'm going to just kind of bring those in, having them at the ready. All right. Big inhale and we'll reach. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Good. Pressing through the feet. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. From this one, we're going to step the right foot back. You can bring your blocks in here. Make sure that front heel is on the floor at all times. Knee is over the ankle or slightly behind it. I'm going to let that right knee travel down. Good. I'm going to find my length. Good back bending is getting into this area here. From here, right hand on the floor or to a block, we're going to open to the left. Really rotate from the torso, from the thoracic and the rib cage. Try not to throw, if you've got the range, try not to throw your hands behind you. Good. And then we'll open that back down. Good. Left hand's going to come to a block or to the floor on the outside of the left foot as we open to the right. Same thing. Open through the chest. And then taking that down. Good. Blocks can come forward. Plant the hands, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, front foot steps back, take or skip a flow. From the downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Press through the feet and the legs, lift and lengthen halfway. Make the legs take the load, not the back. Exhale and we'll bow. Good. From here, I'm going to grab my block. I'm going to step the left leg back now. Good. Right heel's going to stay down. Letting that left knee come down. Finding the length in the torso. Good. Feeling that left side opening up here. And then same as before, left hand can come to the block or to the floor. Open to the right. Twist from the torso. We'll take that back down. Right hand comes to the block or to the floor on the outside of the right foot. Open to the left. And then taking that back down. Good. Blocks can come forward. Plant the hands. Tuck the back toe. Lift the back knee. Front foot steps back. Take or skip a flow. Good. So I do not take every flow that I cue. They're just there for the people who enjoy them. No pressure ever. But I'm really feeling myself open up a lot more than I was, so I hope you are too. From downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, push through the feet. Step, walk, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Good. Press through the feet and legs, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bend the knees and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs, we'll rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, and tension. Okay, let's take this into a sun salute B, So your feet can be hip width apart if you've got a back issue or you're newer. They can zip up together if you have more experience. I'm going to be hip width apart here. So zipping up nice and tight from the pubic bone behind the navel. Good. Arms can come up. We'll sit back into a chair. Good. So feel the heels, feel the glutes, nice long back. Breathe. If you're hip width apart, hips, knees, and toes track forward in that parallel alignment. So knees should not be falling in or falling out. Okay, big inhale. Exhale. You can continue to bend and fold. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bow. Planting the hands. Step or hop back to plank. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Find your breath. Find your good down dog form. Good. And while we're here, just take a moment. Come back to intention. How could you have a more compassionate heart today? Compassion, not just for others, but for yourself, even for non-humans. Compassion for the environment, compassion for animals. Good. Left leg's going to lift 3-point, bending that knee. You're going to push with the right foot as you come forward. Step or pick up and put that left foot forward between the hands. Good. So if you've got an issue going on back here, back hip, stay in parallel railroad track alignment. Okay. If not, you're safe to go into the warrior one. Pressing through the heels will come up. Wherever you choose to go, front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. We're going to draw up and in. Relax the shoulders. Good. If you're in warrior one, press to the back edge of the back foot. If you're in the high crescent, you're pressing back through the heel, but the back heel is not grounded. Zipping up that front body, maybe just a little bit of an opening here. Open up that heart. Open up that chest. And we'll come up, being mindful of that front knee. See if you can keep it from moving as you come down with control. You're using, pressing through that back leg to help you with that control. Plant the hands, swivel up the back foot, front foot steps back, take or skip a flow. Breathing. Good. And then taking that into the other side. So now your right leg's going to lift 3-point, bending that knee, pushing from that back foot, coming forward, stepping or picking up and putting that foot forward between the hands. Good. So if you took parallel railroad track on the other side, you'll want that on this side as well. You want to try to do the same thing on both sides. Good. And then when you're ready, rise so that you train evenly on both sides. If you're always doing something stronger on the stronger side and something not as strong on the weaker side will always be weaker and the stronger side will always be stronger. You gotta let that weaker side catch up with the stronger side. Zipping up, good, strong back leg. Maybe we open up that heart again. And breathe. Once you're ready. Good, coming up. And again, pressing through the back leg. Watch that front knee. Strong, long, slow descent. Good. You have it in your legs. You're going to take it out of your back. Good. Planting the hands, swiveling up the back foot, front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Elbows are always in. Halfway down is all you need if you're going to take the flow. Now from here, just take this into a nice down, or we're already in a down dog. Take it into a nice walking dog here. So I'm really pressing through the feet and trying to stretch out the center part of the foot. Shoulders away from the ears, elbows turning towards the ceiling, strong shoulder girdle. Good. And then from here, relax. Once again, left leg's going to lift 3-point. Bend that knee. Good. Pressing through the back foot. Step or pick up and put that left foot forward between the hands. Now I'm going to take a block and I'm going to have that block on the outside of that left foot. And you'll see why here in a moment. Warrior press, that right side. You can take a wider alignment here since we're going into warrior 2 if that's what you need. Pressing into the feet and we'll rise. Good. So from here, front hip's going to come back. Good. Chest is going to open and we'll reach. Good. Gaze off the tip of the front fingers, relaxing the shoulders. Front knee tracks towards the pinky toe. With a lengthened front leg or a bent front knee, try not to shift the hips as you come back. Reaching. If you like to arm bind or wrap here, you can. Notice how your balance changes when you look up towards the ceiling versus straight forward. Inhale, exhale, coming back with a little bit more gratitude towards that warrior 2. Good, so here's where it's going to get fun. Pressing through the back, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Now today I'm not going to cue you to take your forearm here, but if you have to, you have to. What I am going to have you do is really reach for this block on the outside of the foot. And once your hand is there, then hopefully you're a little bit more stable and you can see if you can move that knee a little bit more over the ankle since you've got that more stability. And then open up through the chest. Okay. Maybe up over nice long. Good. Good. Pressing into the heels. Good. Now looking at that front foot, my arm's going to come up. I'm going to lengthen that front leg. Good. Front hip's going to shift back just a little bit. Good. Now I'm in a triangle. Now from here, you can keep your hand on that block, or maybe you can keep a long torso as you take your hand to your toe, maybe the floor. Maybe you just need to be on a block, but on a different height of your block. Kind of be where you need to be. If it bothers your neck to look up at this hand, don't look up there. And then looking down with that front foot. Good. And I'm going to take my hand back on my block for transition, putting the bend on that knee. Good. Taking that down, swiveling up the back foot, front foot steps back, take or skip a flow. Maybe you need a down dog, just a down dog, a child pose, or a water break or a tail break. Good. I'm going to just move to the other side. Good. From here, once you're ready, your right leg is going to lift 3-point, bending that knee. Good. Pushing from that left side, step or pick up and put that right foot forward between the hands. Good. So I'm going to take my block on the outside of that right foot. Good. Warrior prepping that left side, pressing into the feet, coming up, setting myself up for a good warrior 2. So my front hip's going to come back. The purpose of doing that helps the knee track towards the pinky toe. This is a horrible way to practice. Try not to let that happen. Good. And then we'll open to the side and reach. Good. So make your muscles work. Try not to hang in the flexibility of your joints. Big breaths. And with a lengthened front knee or a bent front knee, maybe we take it back into exalted. So if you did the arm bind or a wrap at this point on the other side, maybe find something here. A compassionate heart has thoughts for others. Thoughts for others. Inhale, exhale, finding that warrior 2. When you're ready, good. We're going to do that same extended angle, the triangle on the side. So I'm going to lengthen here. I'm pressing back. Good. I'm going to take my hand to that block. And once I'm stable on that block, I'm going to let that knee now come a little bit more over that ankle. And now I can open up a little bit more and maybe find that nice long line. So not everybody has aspirations of this nice long line. I do. I like how it feels. But as I've started to age a little bit, my joints feel better if I have the stability of a block to do this one, to come a little bit deeper in it versus trying to be there from back here. So just kind of be mindful of what you feel. Blocks are not crutches. In this case, it actually helps you come deeper into this pose. Good. Now looking down at that front foot. Good. You can lengthen that front leg. Good. Opening up here, you're in triangle. You can keep the hand on the block for triangle, or maybe you can come to the floor or to your yogi toe. I'm still opening up through that chest. My hand is right over my shoulder. And then once ready, looking down at that front foot, putting a bend in that front knee. Good. Swiveling up the back foot, front foot steps back, take or skip a flow. Good, and just breathing. And then once you're ready, good. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees, pressing through the feet, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs, we will rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. So let's get into a balance challenge today. This is also going to be a hip opener and a shoulder opener. So if you need to come up against a wall or a piece of furniture that's sturdy and isn't going to move on you, feel free to do that. But what this is going to be kind of a figure 4 leg chair and then eagle arms. So we're kind of doing a combination. So you can also, if you're on a hard surface, stepping off your mat will give you a more stable surface than being on it. So just be mindful. And I'm going to start on the left leg. So I'm going to pick up nice and carefully my right ankle. I'm going to put it right over my left knee. And for some of you, you need to keep your hand here to keep it here. And this might be it. Don't move on to the next thing if you're not stable on the first step. And then from here, good, you can sit back in. Again, if you're stable, you can move. Right arm on top. You can hug or you can wrap. Good, breathing. Good. Be a little bit more into the heel on that left leg, that supporting leg. Can you soften a little bit more into that right hip? And then if you can, good. I'm going to press slowly on that left side, undo my feet, and then undo my arms and shake that out. And we'll try that all on the other side. So right side, hip, knee, and toe track forward. Good. I'm going to pick up my left foot, and then I'm just going to place it right above the knee. Good. And then I'm going to have a seat. Good. And then I choose if I'm stable here. If I am, I can stay or move on. If I'm not stable here, you won't move on. You're going to work right here. And then arms can come out. Left on top. You can hug. You can wrap. Breathing. And what about empathy? That's a good one for the heart chakra. And then gently we'll press through that leg and come out. Good. We'll shake that out. All right. Let's come to the floor and let's get prepped a little bit deeper. I'm going to take both blocks here and I will be using my blanket here in a moment. So I'm going to make sure that that's close by. So last little flow to the floor. If you would like to take it, big inhale and we reach. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Training the hands, step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip the last flow of this class. Once you're ready, and then drop the knees. Find a little child's pose here that would feel good to you right now. And knowing you can stay here as long as you want, I'm going to take my hands under my shoulders and come back up. Good. So we're going to take this into half camel today. Half camel today. So I'm going to bring this in and we're going to open up the front body a little bit here before we take that half camel, just to make the back feel a little bit better. So I'm going to use my blocks as brakes. And I'm going to start by taking my left leg forward, and we're really going to take that foot forward. Okay. And then my block, as I come in, are going to come down here. Good. So this is similar to what we did in the beginning. And you're free to stay here if this would feel good to you. Otherwise, I'm going to take my left hand onto my thigh, making sure my block's not going to fall over. Good. And then I'm just going to open up until a little hip opener here as well. So kind of rolling to that left side, if you will, a little bit. If you want to bend, you can. Maybe you can bind. The trick to that, pain-free on that knee, is making sure you're not on the kneecap. So you want to make sure that you're forward enough here to where you're not on the kneecap, and then you'll come back and shift back. And we'll come back. Good. And we'll do that to the other side. So now your right foot's going to come way forward. Good. I've got my brakes. I'm going to come in. Good. Find the length. And then if you're moving on from there, right hand can come to the right side. You can hold it aside. And you can bend the back. Maybe you bind with it or touch it. And then from here, we'll come back center and come back here. Good. All right, so now we're ready for half camel. I'm going to give an option for people to do where half camel is not appropriate. So whatever camel version that you're doing, you want your hips to stay over your knees. This is a horrible and dangerous way to practice on your back. So you really want to be up, and you can take the tops of the feet up. So option one, this will not be half, but hands are going to come to the hips or the top here. Elbows are going to come back, and you're just going to open that chest, and that's going to be yours. Okay. Those of you that want to go to half number one, you can take a block back here. Hips are forward and come up. Or if you can reach, you can take it back. Hips are forward and reaching. So I'm reaching back with my right side. My left arm is up. Find your camel. There should be no crunching or funny business happening in the back here. If there is, you need to come out. And speaking of coming out, I'm going to nod my chin. I'm going to take it forward. And I'm going to use my abs as much as I can to come up. Child's pose. Now I'm child's posing with my blocks. You don't have to do that. I just like how it feels in my shoulders sometimes. And then once you're ready, then we'll come back up. So some of you are going to do round two of hands on the hips. Others are going to take it into your half camel on the other side. So you can use that block, or you can reach for your ankle whenever you're ready. Remember, hips are forward. We're zipped up. We'll take it up. And I like my hand up here, but you can always take it hand apart. And then from here, nodding the chin, good, coming out, child's pose. Nothing like a good deep back bend or heart opener to kind of get you going there. And then once you're ready, we are going to come onto our backs here. Move this out of the way. Make sure that your block, not your block, wrong prop, your strap is handy for you. Your strap is handy for you. And once you come down onto the floor, bring the knees into the chest, grab behind, rock head side with the low back, get another little stretchy here. It would feel good to take the hands to the knees and do a little massage. You can do that too. Good. So from here, I'm just going to take my legs up. Good. I'm going to take my hands behind. Excuse me. I want my tailbone to stay on the floor. And then I'm going to find a double hamstring stretch here. So this right here is going to be a little bit less intense. Pointing the toes towards the face is going to be most intense. And a point and flex is going to be in between. If you can reach for a yogi foot or yogi toe, you can go ahead and take those as well. And then from here, maybe open to the side. So if you're not in yogi toe, just support yourself on the side here. And it's okay to rock this. You like to rock it. And then from here, we'll come up and we'll take the feet back to the floor. Good. So from here, first bridge is going to be pretty basic. I'm going to roll my shoulders back. Good. Hips, knees, and toes are tracking. Pressing into the feet, pressing into the arms and shoulders. I'm going to lift. I want to lift up through that chest. And then I'll lower that down. Now, bridge number 2 is going to be an option. You're going to pick which one. So if you're someone who wants to experience what it's like to do the bridge with the ankle bind, but you can't quite get your heels close enough to be able to do that, take your strap, make the strap around the ankles. Good. And then as you lift up, then you're going to feel what that feels like. Okay. If you would rather just get a nice shoulder opener in a different way, then you can take that strap under the hip. And I really like the strap if you're someone that has a wrist issue, a shoulder issue, or you're someone who, when you're class, you're more like this versus like this, open hands instead of closed hands. You want to try to have the closed hands there. So if that bothers you too much, use your strap and then you'll get that desired result. So from here, whenever you're ready, strap around the ankle or underneath your bum. And when you're ready, pressing into the feet, lift up. You can roll the shoulders under a little bit more. I'm grabbing my strap. I'm going to reach my strap towards the feet. And then you can choose here if you take your hands closer together, strap, or keep them shoulder width apart. So I can clasp my hands under here. However, if they are open hands, not closed, I get such a deeper opener using the strap than trying to do something that my shoulders and my wrists don't want me to do with my hands. And then from here, carefully come out the way you need to come out, bringing the knees in, and we'll rock side. Okay, let's do a little bit of a figure 4 here before we go to final twist and shavasana. So I'm going to take the right ankle over that left knee. And for here, you can stay here, and some people like that. You can play with opening and closing a little bit. And then likewise, if you take this in closer to the face, you can play with that open and close here. Or you can just stay here. You can thread it through. You can rock side to side. Let's kind of find your version with where you need to have it. And then once you're ready, carefully release from that figure 4. And we'll take that to the other side. So now the left ankle is on top of the right knee. Again, you can stay here. You kind of lift and lower that knee. You bring it in closer, lifting and lowering the knee, rocking side to side, taking a bind. Find it where you need to find yours. Might be completely different on one side than the other. And then once we are ready, then we'll take that down and we'll undo. Good. So let your feet and everything kind of wiggle side to side. And when you're ready, we're just going to do a basic supine twist today, nothing fancy. I'm going to take one knee at a time into my tabletop position. Knees over hips, shins parallel to the floor, arms out to the side. Let those knees come over to the right, trying to keep the left shoulder on the floor as you look to the left. Breathe and expand. Take in the breaths. Let your body have what it needs. Good. And then if your back is bothering you, take one leg at a time to center, or you can use your abs to bring both of them back in the center. Good. And then from here, we'll take those knees over to the left. Oh yeah, this is the side I needed it. Right shoulder down, looking to the right. Nothing like a good, satisfying twist after some deep back bending. Good. Head back to center. One leg at a time. Coming back in, or using the abs to bring them both back in. Get knees into the chest one final time. And we'll take a short Shavasana from here. So I'm going to bring my folded blanket in as a little neck pillow. You can bring in whatever props would make you feel a little bit more comfortable. Speaking of comfort, you might be more comfortable in constructive rest with knees bent versus legs long and flopped open. You might be more comfortable on your side or on your belly, depending on what you've got going on. So find what you need to find, making yourself about 10% more comfortable. I'll leave you here for a few short moments. But sink in a little bit deeper, being with yourself, being with that heart chakra, open heart, compassion, empathy, thoughts for others, gratitude. And taking some deep breaths here. Choosing stillness. Gently taking head and neck from side to side. Maybe inviting movement with the fingers, with the toes. Choosing stillness. We're taking knees into the chest. If you're using any props, you can move them here. If a full body stretch will feel better to you right now. And then when you're ready, bending in both knees, and you choose, rolling over to your right or left side that works best for your body in this moment. Taking all the time that you need, and when you're ready, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat where we started our practice. Hopefully now a little bit calmer, a little bit more open. And then palms up. We'll take the arms up, touching the palms together. As we bring the hands down, touching the thumbs to the forehead. for good and true thoughts, to the lips for good and kind words, and to the heart for open and loving hearts. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. You have a wonderful day, week, evening, month, season ahead. Thank you so much. Namaste.